22,565.
In the budget for the 2023-24 financial year, which Parliament passed on Thursday, 70 billion shillings allocated for establishment of a vaccine and pharmaceutical facility was red-flagged both in the majority and minority reports. For the majority, the issue had more to do with the objection on the proposal to repurpose the budget to cater for a single item.
The committee recommended that the purpose of this money should remain the same, so that both vaccines and pharmaceuticals, innovations, and all manufacturing can take place.
On the other side, the 5 members who authored the minority report were against dishing out of public funds to a private entity.
The consolidated fund should not be used to act as a lender of first resort to every non-bankable idea. If these projects are feasible and worth the support, there are many ways through which the government can support them. For instance, that money should be channeled through the Uganda Development Corporation or the Uganda Development Bank for onward lending.
The minority report cast doubt on whether the project would come to pass given an exorbitant cost of $1 billion, approximately 3.7 trillion shillings, for establishment of the facility against the 70 billion shillings that has been provided.
Comparatively, Right Honourable Speaker, by technology firm Mondema is set to build a similar facility in Kenya at a cost of only $500 million.
The attempt by the minority to influence the House failed, with the only amendment approved in the entire budget proposals being the majority's decision to maintain the 70 billion shillings to provide for both vaccines and pharmaceuticals. Another concern pertained to 37 billion shillings previously allocated for the coffee value chain under the technology docket in State House. The authors of the minority report were infuriated that besides the budget being misplaced, it has since been classified.
We dissent with the majority decision to provide and shift money mounting to 37 billion for Mr. Odrek Robogo. Classified expenditures should not be abused to hide irregular, personal, illegal expenditures on the consolidated fund.
Then there was the budget for the presidency, both for State House and the Office of the President, which, put together, is about 700 billion shillings without the additional allocations captured in the core agenda.
We are spending on average 1 million shillings on President Yoweri Museveni's clothes every day. Our president is not a staff from Hollywood, requiring to change wardrobe every day. He's the president of a poor country. Why buy him clothes worth 350 million every year? What happened to the clothes that were bought last year?
Some MPs argued that the constrained budget left out critical aspects.
Yet we want to appropriate 70 billion to one investor for vaccines, but we cannot prioritize 11.6 billion. So I want to recommend, Right Honourable Speaker, that the 11.6 billion shillings that has been cut for these private health facilities for medicines be reinstated.
We all come from local governments. They operate in a very poor infrastructure. Some of them have no even where to sit. To me, I believe that the budget allocation given is insufficient. There should be some kind of level of improving on that budget.
The budget is not for poor people. How can you give out 3.9 trillion and then you give out only 604 billion to Ministry of Education and Sports? Seriously speaking, there is unfairness.
Of the 52.7 trillion shillings, government expects to raise 29 trillion from domestically generated revenue. For the entire budget, only 25 trillion shillings is available for spending. The rest has been committed to obligations like debt payment and servicing. Jackson Onyango, NTV.